What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today is the 15th of October, the Wednesday, and here we are. Just got home from work doing this review on the price action on US 100, Nasdaq 100. Let's get right into it. So today was a bit of a range, a long wide range day, because we delivered on both sides of the market. The range today was over 400 points. So from the sells to the buys, it's over 400 points, and I managed to get some short-term buys. Didn't catch all of the range, but it was a good day because I really understood the price action and I see where price delivered both sides perfectly. So it's this candle right here. Let me get this annotation tool up. Alright, so it's this candle right here. Need to switch the color to like this. This candle right here, this one. So we opened right here, a bit of a gap up from where we closed the previous day, and it kind of just continued up for the entirety of the day before we came back down a bit and then went up, and then we finally sold off. Then we closed the day back at the highs, or well, above yesterday's open, not at the highs but above yesterday's open. So that is really it for the daily time frame. Let me get to the 4 hour right now. So on the 4 hour time frame, let me go here to default. Let me pause this a bit. Alright, yeah, I had to pause just now to fix the internet. It was disconnecting over and over again, but yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, this was where we were at, and overall we are still inside last week's range. So all of this week's candle is inside the range of last week. So see, we have here the previous weekly high and the previous weekly low. So all of this we just keep sweeping back and forth internal liquidity. We haven't created any new highs or lows this week, so what I'm currently seeing is possibly Wednesday could be the high of the week, which would have been today, and we could possibly sell off back to the downside, or we could continue up. I don't know. There's cases for both, because we came into discount here, we filled this gap that we had, we traded down back into this gap from the gap up, and we have a case for both. We could go back for the all-time highs, or we could come back into a deeper discounted level. So let us see what we actually get. But for today, so we opened up, where was it? We opened up here. Yes, we opened up here, or is it let me see. No, actually, yeah, we opened up here, traded down, came back up, all the way up, selling off back again, and then coming back up to close right around here. So that is what we did today. As we say, we delivered both sides of the market because there were both buys and sell opportunities that presented themselves. I only caught a piece of the buys in the AM session. I saw the sales. I wasn't able to capitalize on them because I was at work and I couldn't focus on doing both things at the same time. So I just decided, you know what, let me just leave it. But I saw the opportunity to actually get in, but I wouldn't be able to manage the trade and I just left it. So I'm still trying to build the discipline of just, because I could have taken a bigger position even on the trade that I took. I think I made almost half a percent because I was trading from my phone and I just decided to take the short little opportunity to scalp it to run the highs. So I'm going to show you on the lower time frame what it actually looks like. Now down to the 1 hour time frame. So see here, the previous daily high was right around here. Where is it? Yeah, so the previous daily high was right around here. We had this high. Was it that one? Hold on. Looking at the wrong pair. Oh, that's GU. Yeah, man. So this is the right thing. So previous daily high, as I say, was here. This high right here. This high was from yesterday before we sold off, and as I said, we opened up with the gap here. Well, the gap was somewhere. Yeah, the gap was down here before we traded back up. Let me get back this template. Yeah, man, this looks better. So this was just a volume imbalance right around I think this was the midnight open. But yeah, so we opened up down here because this is the new day. They started here and this candle opened up with a gap and we traded up, coming back down in New York before we ran the highs. My trades that I took were just from right here to target the highs, but I didn't take a big position, so I decided to hold a little bit into premium. I went break even, and I know the target was this high, so it went a little bit above, and I just decided to just close out majority of it, and I went break even like the smallest bit, and it just came back to stop me at break even. I could have taken a sell here, like I said, because there was indication that the market was tapping here, plus we already run the highs, and currently on this time frame we're kind of bearish. On the 4 hour we're kind of bearish, and the delivery for the upside was down, and there was still a case for us to come back down. So there was a reason to risk on that trade. Let me pull up the 15-minute chart now and show you. So coming down to the 15-minute time frame, like I said, The target was right around here. Target was right around here, targeting the highs. And the trade that I took, as we bought up in London session, so the gap we open here, traded down back in the gap, went up all the way through London, Asia, London, and Frankfurt, London, all the way up into New York. When we opened the stock market right around here, this was NY open right around here, and I saw we manipulated down to the downside. I don't remember what level I had inside this here, but I saw the manipulation and it was right inside the macro of 950 to 1010. So the manipulation at 930 brought us down, and then we went right up, targeting these highs, and we tapped into this 15-minute fair value gap. And on the higher time frame is a big, I think it's a daily as well as a 4-hour fair value gap. So I guess when you zoom in, it's this gap right here. So I had this high marked out as well as this one right here, and I was looking even at this up here. We didn't make it up there, but I see where we tapped out, because we started to consolidate and moving sideways, and I realized that okay, this seems like we're going to roll over here. So after we consolidated, I saw the indication here. Once we got this 15-minute candle to close to the downside, the next one came, manipulated up, and there was a reason to risk here. I could have risked here targeting back these lows, this volume imbalance here, as well as these lows, and the gap. I could have targeted the gap. This would have been a beautiful target down here. This volume imbalance from the midnight open, as well as this new day opening gap from the overnight. So when the market reopened at 6 p.m, we had this gap right here, and I saw we just delivered right back down to this the gap first. We went right through and we took out the daily low. So this was a liquidity level too. We took it out, and we came all the way back down to the same new week opening gap down here. And then now there was also a case for the buys going back up, because we ran both sides. So that's why I say there was a case to trade both sides of the market. So we got the buys from here, targeting the highs, the previous daily highs, and then now there was a reason to take the sells right around here inside another macro, targeting these lows. Came back up, I think we had a next macro somewhere in here, targeting these lows, and then there was a reason to get into buys here to bring us back here, and we would have just ended the day here. So we had 4 lovely trade ideas that we could have capitalized on, if you actually know what to look for in the markets. So let me go to trading view now, and try to show you the price action and the lower time frame. So this is, where do I find it? US 100, US 30. This is it, US tech. So like I said, We bought up for the entirety of the day. Bought up for the entirety of the day. So all of these macros presented entry opportunities. I don't know why we had a gap up here, but we gapped up. This was an entry opportunity here, another one here, here again inside this macro. This one not so clean, but this one would have given us another entry, 650 to 710 to bring us to the highs, you know. And then we came down and we run this internal liquidity. This bring us to, this was some type of, I think it was a 5-minute OB that I saw, but the entry was from right around here to bring us to the high. And like I said, the timing is very important. This is the 950 to 1010 macro. So the 10 a.m. candle open in this area right here. So 10 a.m. candle actually opened up right here. The wick. So it was a open, high, low, close candle. So it was a bearish candle. So open, manipulated to the upside. Part of this manipulation, if you look on, if I bring back up the 4-hour chart, let me clear this join, bring back the 4-hour chart. Where is it? I want to look at the 4-hour PO3. So this, yeah, so this candle, the 10 a.m. candle was this one. The 10 a.m. 4-hour candle was this one right here. So not much manipulation to the upside, but I saw where it would have been a bearish candle, because I know normally the 10 a.m. if we go in bearish, it going to open somewhere down here to bring us higher. So once I saw it open here, and it wasn't a strong bullish day, so I expected the reversal, and we had already hit the target of running the previous daily high, and I was expecting us to drop back off. So that was my case for being bearish. So everything lined up perfectly with the macro. So inside the 950 to 1010 macro was the buy, and by the time you get to the 1050 to 1110 macro, this gave us the sell opportunity to bring us even back down to this low. Would have been a beautiful trade. This could have been 1 to 5, 1 to 10, depending on the size of your stop loss and your entry technique. This brought us all the way down. Then lunchtime gave us this bit of consolidation right down here, and it eventually continued lower. So this would have been a new target, and then targeting the midnight open and traded back down to the current days open. So the current days open would have been right around here. We had the new week opening gap right around there. So it was this leg right here, targeting here, and then now inside after we run, this was yesterday's New York AM lows right around here. This was where we ran. So this thing isn't random. This thing isn't random. So we ran the previous day's high, and then we targeted the internal liquidity of New York AM from the previous day's low. After we ran that low, we got another buy opportunity inside the 9, well, it would be 110 to 140 macro. That's a nice ICT macro, and that was an entry here on the 15-minute and the 3-minute time frame, and entry here after we target the lows. to bring us all the way back up to about equilibrium, and even inside the 150 to 210, which would have been the PM silver bullet, this gave us an entry opportunity to bring us back to these highs. We didn't quite make it above the lunchtime highs right here, but we tagged it over here. I think this was the 6 p.m. close, so we tagged it. It was a nice little trade opportunity inside of here as well. So this could have been an entry to continue back up if you didn't catch anything before, but I think I would have been done for the day after catching all of this right here, especially, and even then I could have caught this by here. So it's all about understanding the draw and liquidity as well as the narrative. So if you know what the market is targeting, then that's a beautiful way to capture trades, especially when the markets are volatile, because as I said, this was over from bottom to top. See, is 450, almost 450 points range today. Is a lot of points that to capitalize on. So a lot of movement. Now forecasting what I'm expecting for tomorrow. If we continue higher, because we already did a bit of manipulation here because we opened right here, manipulated down already, we could come back to target this high even 50%. This was the fair value gap on the 4-hour time frame. We could run this high if we're going continue bullish, or we could come anywhere around here, maybe run it would have been the lunchtime highs and find something inside this wick here on the lower time frame before we continue down, if Wednesday going to be the high of the week. But in any case, let us see what the rest of the week entails, because this is already Thursday's candle. So that is pretty much it for this video. Gold continuing up, so see we opened up and we're pushing up again. New day open, like this thing is just going. At some point in time, I know we're going to crash back to the downside. So that is it for gold. And this thing, US 500, the S&P pretty much did the same thing like Nasdaq, and US 30 delivered pretty much the same way. We ran the previous daily high, quite a few highs, came back up into the premium level up here before we managed to come back down to the gap. This was the gap. Didn't quite make it down to the new week opening gap from down here, but nevertheless, some nice opportunities presented themselves. So we had a small gap here that we came back to, traded back to. But until the next time, guys, I'll catch you on tomorrow's episode. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing.